stage, and I'm really excited to do a little bit of improvisation with you guys today. I work in improv theatre. I cast improv theatre. I'm in improv theatre. I work with professional improvisers, and I'm really excited to hopefully teach you some tips and tricks and techniques that you can use going forward as the basis for your understanding of improv, because improv is so important. It's all about listening and reacting and taking your given circumstances and fully building a character and learning to run with it. And so I'm really excited to do these online classes with you, because creativity doesn't have to stop just because you're at home. And hopefully you'll come back to these classes time and time again and relearn the techniques and really, really start to develop your understanding of improvisation. So, what is improv? Now, I touched on it briefly, but I think the best way to describe improv is it's the basis, in my opinion, to a lot of acting techniques. It's about listening to your scene partner, it's about reacting to the given circumstances and to what your scene partner is telling you, and it's about working as a team. Improv is about learning how to take everyone along for the ride and create the most authentic and exciting scenes and plays and shows that you can possibly think of. And so I'm really excited to hopefully teach you some techniques today and go through some exercises that will reinforce that. That being said, if at any point you feel like I've gone too fast, or you need to go back over something and do it again, or if you don't feel like I've stopped for long enough for you to complete the exercise, you have the power of technology at your fingertips, and you can just press pause and I will be none the wiser, and I strongly encourage you to do that. This is for you at your own pace, and that's what we're hoping to achieve here. So if you want to pause, fine by me. Great, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a warm-up. We're just going to do some tongue twisters. We're going to get the mouths engaged and get the brains thinking so that everything is working together. So the first thing we're going to do is Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Everyone hopefully will know that one, but if not, I'll make sure that the words are somewhere for you. So we're going to say that once together now. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Lots of p sounds in there. The next thing I'd like you to do is, rather than just saying the tongue twister normally, let's expand the face so that it's as big as we possibly can. Let's feel really silly and have loads of fun with this, okay? So stand nice and strong, and then we're going to say, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Great. So now that we've done that all together once, we're going to do the rest of the tongue twister, and I will make sure that the words are visible for you. So it goes like this. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Did Peter Piper pick a peck of pickled peppers? If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, then where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Wonderful. So I'll make sure that the words are here for you so that you can have a little read of them. And if you want to read that one out loud, nice and exaggerated for me, that would be wonderful. The next tongue twister that we're going to do is a nice short one, and that is she sells seashells on the seashore. Nice and simple, but this time, rather than being massive and extreme, we're going to bring it right down. So I barely want to be able to hear you, but I should still be able to see your mouths making these movements. So, she sells seashells on the seashore. She sells seashells on the seashore. She sells seashells on the seashore. Great, well done. The last tongue twister that we are going to do is red lorry, yellow lorry. Nice and fast as you possibly can, and the more you do it, the better you'll get. So if you did this every day for a month, by the end of it, you'd be super fast, and that's what we're aiming for here. So this one goes like this. Red lorry, yellow lorry, 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 red lorry, yellow lorry. And there are loads of tongue twisters online that you or your parents or carers can find for you. And you can practice all different kinds of sounds. But what tongue twisters do is they make your brain kick in and make your mouth do difficult things. And then that way, everything starts to work together and you get nice and warm. Lovely. The next thing we're going to do, warm-up number 2, is something to get you into your bodies. You've warmed your brains up, you've warmed your mouths up, now it's time to warm your bodies up and then get it all working together. So what I would like you to do is walk around the space that you have and just point at things and name them. For example, lampshade, wardrobe, glasses. Nice and simple, and it really is as simple as that. Now, I know that not everybody has enough space to do that, so if you want to pop me on pause and run outside to do this, the weather is really nice at the moment, you can run outside and run around your garden doing this one. This is just about getting your brains working with your mouths and your bodies so that everything works together, okay? So, I would like you to walk around your space and point out 5 to 10 objects for me, and literally simply just name them. Hairbrush, computer, phone. Great, now that you've done that, I would like you to go again, walking around your space, but this time we're going to mix things up slightly. So, if on the last round, the last thing that you pointed to was a football, then I need you to keep that in your head. Keep the word football in your brain. If the first thing that you pointed to was a water bottle, on this round, when you point at your water bottle, you're going to say football. Then, if you point at a hairbrush, you're going to say water bottle. So, for example, football, water bottle, hairbrush. Does that make sense? Go back over that a few times, but basically, you are saying the name of the thing that you previously pointed to. Go back over that a few times, but basically, you are saying the name of the thing that you previously pointed to. I hope you all managed to get on with that one. That one's a little bit more complicated, but I'm sure you all did brilliantly. Finally, the last stage of this warm-up is to walk around your space and point to things that do not relate at all. For example, you could point to a football and call it a lampshade. You could point to your water bottle and call it a lipstick. You could point to your hairbrush and call it the Taj Mahal. I just want you to get out of your brains and really stop thinking and have a little bit of fun with this, because the next thing that we're going to do is all about improv. Let's get into a bit of improv. So, we've already talked about what improv is at its core, and that's what we need to remember going forward. So, remembering that improv is about listening to your given circumstances, listening to your scene partner, reacting to what they are telling you, and taking what you have in front of you and creating that story, that character, and giving the audience something really solid to invest in. There are loads of shows all over the world right now being created on the basis of improv, and they vary massively. There are some shows where the actors will walk on stage at the beginning of the show and have no idea what form the show is going to take, because that is entirely up to the audience. And the audience will give them their characters, they'll give them their location, they'll give them their style of acting, and the actors will have to just create an improv show around that. Then there are other ways of doing improv shows. For example, the show that I work on is on wheels, so it has a storyline that the audience members follow all the way around, but quite frequently they are left in scenes with the actors and they have to ask them questions, interact with the actors, and so the actors are constantly on their toes, having to think of new, different answers to questions that the audiences might like, but that sit within the parameters of the story that they are telling. Lovely. So the first exercise that we're going to do today is about based on text. So what I need you guys to do at home is to take 5 lines of a piece of text that you have been working on recently, whether that's a monologue, a scene from your favourite TV show or film, or a book or a poem, just something that you can take 5 lines from and be ready to read them out. Now, once you've got those 5 lines, I am going to pop up some emotions for you to have a little look at. And what I would like you to do is, as you read your 5 lines, I want you to take the 5 emotions that are going to be on the screen and react differently to each line. So this is about keeping it fresh, keeping the balls in the air, Really learning to think on your feet. And not all of these emotions are going to fit with the piece of text that you have, and that's okay. That's important. What we want is to learn how to infuse any emotion into a piece of text really quickly, because you never know what's going to be thrown at you when you're doing improv. The last exercise that we're going to do today is a bit of proper improv. So I want you to take all the skills that you've learned thus far and apply them to this last exercise. So what I'd like you to do is imagine that you are a knight and you are fighting a dragon, and the dragon is on the other side of a moat and you are on the middle of a bridge. Those are your given circumstances. That is what you know about the character. If you were given a script, those are the things that the script tells you is what's happening. Everything else you can make up. So you can give your knight a name, and you can decide what powers they have, or whether they fight with a sword, or whether they're a little bit magic. However you want to create your character is up to you. But what I want you to do is create a monologue for me of you talking, fighting the dragon. It's not about what you do in terms of like fighting, it's about what you say, because that is what we're focusing on at the moment. So imagine that your dragon is over the other side of the moat and you are stood on the drawbridge, but suddenly the drawbridge has turned into strawberry laces, and now the whole thing is a heck of a lot more funny. So with that in mind, you are there, stood on your drawbridge, fighting your dragon, standing on some strawberry laces, and I would like you to come up with a monologue that you can show your parents, your carers, your siblings, whomever they may be. You can show them what you have created by using all of the different techniques that we've talked about thus far. So listening, reacting to your given circumstances, creating a really strong character and backstory, and then just running with it or flying with it if that's what your knight can do. So do that together and then let me know how that goes. You can comment in the comments below, or you can just drop us a little email, and we really want to hear how well you feel that you did and what happened to your night. So if you let us know, that would be awesome. And I hope that the things that you've learnt today you can take forward with you into future improv classes, into future plays that you do, and learn and use those to become a better improviser. Because then at the end of the day, whatever happens, whatever situation you're thrown at, whether it's that the lights go out while you're on stage, or a fellow actor forgets their lines, or that you are in fact cast in an improv show later down the line, you will be able to do whatever you want, and you'll be able to do it and take the audience on the journey with you. Because at the end of the day, that's what we do this for. We do this so that we can tell stories, and hopefully you'll be able to tell really great stories with all these techniques that you've learned.